Hi, it's Celeste and Hallie from Evolve the Calm.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay,
Afternoon.
yeah, or afternoon, or evening.
Evening.
Where are you?
Middle of the night.
Um, so Hallie and I have been having this conversation about AI, and my question was, does this even apply to the work that we do? And Hallie's question was,
Will AI take over all human work people? Will they take over the world? Will there not be human work anymore?
okay, they might take over the world, which I actually would secretly, I don't want to say I would love, but this is the benefit of AI. Okay, so the other day I was trying to think of topics we could talk about, and you came up with actual human topics, but I went into ChatGPT and was like, hey, ChatGPT, what are the greatest things? Because it pulls all of the resources. If I were to do that research online, it would it would take me a long time and I would still never get like all the words. It does it so fast and then I can iterate on it. So I feel like the partnership between AI and humans kind of brings out the best talents of all of us because I can't run algorithms in my head.
And I wonder if there can be a beautiful merge
Okay.
where the humans are working in tandem with
Mm-hmm.
AI and
Mm-hmm.
producing better results than just a human could do or just an AI could do. And that's the
Yeah.
hope that I
Yes.
desperately wish for.
Okay, and this is maybe a kind of side topic, but I do know that there are so many jobs that I have been hoping robots do for a long time, like building cars. Robots are better at building cars. Humans are better at like going back and assessing and like reviewing and figuring out what the problems might be and how to fix it. But but there are places where robots are better, so I feel bad, but people who are in jobs that could be replaced by a robot, in my world, that's good because that means they now get to learn the human skills that maybe they were avoiding learning, right? So it engages people in their humanity, really perfecting the things that are unique to human beings that only we have to offer.
So let's delve into that just a second.
Okay,
Because that brought up a lot of
Oh,
questions in my
okay.
mind. So all of the automotive workers in the US, in the world, right, that are building cars. So what is their future like?
Well, okay. I always think back, I'm going to answer that question, but I always think back to when logging happened in Oregon and everyone's like, oh no, what are all the loggers going to do? I'm like, yeah, but we have to evolve. We have to shift as a human group, right? Because we aren't going to be doing the same type of work. So we also don't have, the same kind of, I hate to say it because it is still happening in a lot of parts of the world, but like people doing tiny little work for $2 an hour that's hurting them, right? Like is there something else? So for the automotive workers, and I actually was, I've been at plants recently enough that where the robots are, the humans are still checking in, kind of maintaining, overlooking. So I just feel like if we could do that same amount of work, and this makes a lot of people nervous. So sorry if it makes you nervous, but if we could do the work that 100 people do now with 100 robots and 10 people, then those other 90 people are freed up to maybe go and do something, again, uniquely human. So we do have to upskill people, and that's obviously something we do at Evolve the Com is making sure that people have the skills to be able to upskill and do other things. But it is a question of if we free up the human kind of creativity, are those people ready to step into it? Does that scare you, or does that?
It doesn't scare me. I think it could scare some
Yeah,
because I think for so long they have if they have been in a job that does the same thing day in and day out, they get structured and almost complacent to the fact that their creativity in their brain may have completely died away or when, so I think it would be challenging for some to reignite that spark of creativity, thinking for themselves again, thinking in a day instead of I have to put, these 8 work projects together.
yeah.
What am I doing today? And you have to create your own day. That might be hard.
Well, and maybe as you say that, I'm like, maybe that's not kind of the finite, but you did mention sort of the mindset, right? There are people with a fixed mindset. This is what I do. This is how things are done. And there are people with a growth mindset. Like, well, maybe
Right.
there's something I haven't thought of. And so if we, as again, a group of humans are moving towards an economy that will support more of a growth mindset, like, okay, so if I'm in automotive and this is just one example, right? But if I'm in manufacturing and I'm seeing that go away, could I now start to build other skills? Or maybe, again, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to go start a new business. And maybe it's just, maybe I'll move into a different department in the company or, right? Like, could I build those skill sets so that I'm more valuable as a human because I don't need to be a robot. And I think that's hopeful to me. Like, I don't have to be a robot. I'm not a human robot. I'm a human. And now if we have the power to have robots doing all the robot things, I mean, we definitely work very different. I'm like grateful because I have a dishwasher. My dishwasher does all the things. People said the same thing about dishwashers, right? Like, oh, I don't want a dishwasher, it won't do it. I love my dishwasher. I can do all my dishes in 10 minutes, So I think work changes. The nature of work changes.
Side note, super funny that you said dishwasher
Okay.
because ours is broken.
Oh no, I'm
And so it kind of plays into the
so
robots, right? So the robots could
sorry.
break. So now,
Yes, yes,
I need
yes.
somebody to come in and fix my dishwasher,
Yeah.
or I have to replace it entirely. And that is a human. So
Yep.
I think what you're saying is all true. They are very helpful. When they break, they probably need humans,
Yeah.
right, to help
Yep.
with them.
Yeah.
So I think that's fascinating. And I know it's the future of our world. I'd be very curious what any of you guys who are watching thinks about this subject,
Yep.
thinks about your own job. Could it be replaced entirely by AI? And if it did, what would you do? So those are fascinating
Deep thoughts.
questions,
Deep
my
thoughts
friend,
to
in
consider.
2024.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.